Imagine dropping $80,000 on a lakefront paradise, only to be slapped with a $200 daily fine for docking your cherished fishing boat. That's the nightmare I walked into when Helen, the iron-fisted president of the Crystal Shores Homeowners Association, decided my dad's old boat was an eyesore, ruining her perfect neighborhood. She thought she could bully me into submission, but she underestimated the wrong guy. This is the story of how I turned her, private, lake into the stage for a jet ski race that shook our town to its core. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. I want to know who's ready for this wild ride. After my divorce last year, I craved a fresh start, far from the suffocating suburbs. A listing for a modest lakefront home at Crystal Shores caught my eye, a steal at $80,000. The house was nothing fancy, 3 bedrooms, outdated fixtures, but the view of Crystal Lake was pure magic. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed shimmering water, distant mountains, and towering pines. Best of all, it came with a dock for my 20-foot fishing boat, a gift from my late father. That boat wasn't just wood and metal, it held memories of dawn fishing trips and his quiet wisdom. The realtor, Emily Carter, beamed as she called it the deal of a lifetime. "There's an HOA," she said breezily, "but they just keep things tidy. Boats are fine, it's a lake community." Famous last words. My neighbors, George and Clara Thompson, a warm retired couple, helped me move in with lemonade and stories. "This place used to be a real community," George sighed. "Until Helen's HOA board turned it into her pyre," Clara whispered. "She's the queen of control freaks." I brushed it off, too busy settling in. For 3 weeks, life was perfect. I worked remotely, took lunch breaks on my boat, and felt the lake healing my wounds. Then, a bombshell landed, an HOA violation notice taped to my door. My boat was unauthorized, with a $500 fine and $200 daily penalties unless I removed it within 24 hours. Stunned, I scoured my closing documents. Nothing banned boats. Emily swore she'd sent the HOA rules, and sure enough, they were in my spam folder. But the rules were vague, only mentioning aesthetic standards. I marched to the HOA office, where Helen, a polished woman in her 60s with a fake smile, pointed to a rule banning personal watercraft except for HOA kayaks. "Your boat's an eyesore," she sneered. When I mentioned its sentimental value, she shrugged. "Submit a variance request, but don't hold your breath." Her disdain for my jeans and t-shirt was palpable. As I left, I overheard her with Richard Baxter, the HOA vice president, scheming about a yacht club expansion. "His property's perfect," Richard said. "He'll sell eventually." The pieces clicked, they wanted me out. Furious but determined, I hit the county library, where librarian Rachel Evans helped me dig into records. We struck gold. Crystal Lake was public water, with a 1960s agreement guaranteeing public access. The HOA had no right to ban my boat. George and Clara confirmed the HOA's history of harassing residents to force sales. I needed allies, so I visited Lakeview Marine, where owner Carlos Rivera, a former boat racer, jumped at the chance to help. Richard had ruined his old marina, and Carlos was itching for payback. He rallied the Lake Riders, a jet ski club banned by Helen's noise complaints, and their leader, Tom, promised 30 riders and equipment. Rachel connected me with Mia Larson, a reporter eager to expose the HOA's shady deals. We planned the Crystal Lake Freedom Fest, a jet ski race to prove the lake was public, timed to crash Helen's investor cocktail party. The Lake Riders mapped a course between public access points, Carlos spread the word, and Mia wrote a pre-event article. The HOA fought back with daily fines. My wildflowers were weeds, my porch paint non-compliant. A cease and desist letter arrived, but our ally, retired clerk Henry Brooks, confirmed it was baseless. The night before the race, Richard offered to cancel my fines and buy my house at a 20% premium if I scrapped the event. "You'll regret this," he growled when I refused, his eyes glinting with menace. Race day dawned perfectly, clear skies, sparkling water. Crowds gathered, buzzing with excitement. But disaster struck. The lake level had dropped 3 feet overnight, exposing mud flats. Then, police arrived, citing a pollution advisory. Officer Mark Hayes showed a document from water official Stephen Grant, claiming a sewage leak. Across the lake, Helen and Richard smirked from their party. Mia debunked the advisory online, and I snapped photos of Richard boating on the polluted lake. Carlos found the dam gate deliberately opened. An anonymous audio of Richard and Stephen plotting the sabotage sealed it. Mark, convinced, let the race proceed on a modified course. The jet skis roared past Helen's party, spraying water and shattering her facade. The crowd cheered, but victory was bittersweet. Another fine awaited me, this time for fake safety violations, from Richard's brother-in-law. Mia exposed the inspector's bias, and I called attorney David Sullivan, an HOA dispute expert. We sent a legal letter demanding that the HOA rescind fines and admit the lake's public status, backed by evidence of sabotage and fraud. My friend Ethan Parker, a data analyst, uncovered HOA funds funneled to Richard's shell company. Environmental Director Laura Chin launched an investigation into the lake drainage. Mia's explosive article rallied residents, and at a chaotic HOA meeting, I played the Richard Stevens recording. Laura arrived with police, confirming the drainage was illegal. Richard and Helen fled as residents demanded their resignation. That night, I found chilling photos taken inside my home, with a note. This is just the beginning. Police found a camera in my vent, sparking a harassment investigation. Richard's wife, Sarah, defected, handing me documents revealing a luxury resort plan tied to rare earth minerals under the lake. At a city council meeting, we exposed everything. FBI agent Thomas Reed, investigating Richard for fraud, arrested him and Helen for wire fraud and conspiracy. Richard spat. I have allies you don't know. The council declared the lake public, and the HOA was overhauled with George as interim president. But Richard's allies lingered. Ethan traced payments to Senator Michael Reed, who lobbied for mineral extraction. Mia's bait article about a lake preserve lured Michael into offering a bribe, which the FBI recorded, leading to his arrest. The scandal toppled the corruption network. Crystal Lake became protected public water, and we launched an annual freedom race. Sitting with my allies, I posted my boat online. HOA tried to find me. Now we race on their lake. It went viral, a beacon for fighting corrupt power. What do you think? Was my jet ski race a bold stand or reckless provocation? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate standing up to bullies versus stirring the pot. Hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of ordinary people taking on giants.